friends, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I just thought I would bring you along. I'm just working on a journal at the moment, and I thought that I would just bring you along while I finish off one or two of the pages. So yeah, it's a really pretty green and pink journal. It's using predominantly the pieces that we did at the beginning of the year from the 12 by 12 paper. You know, you making a kit from the 12 by 12 paper that we did. So it's predominantly using those pieces, and obviously then I've just mixed in one or two other bits as well. So I'm just here with this Burst in Bloom envelope, which just happens to be, you know, a good match colour wise with obviously some of the pieces that I've got already in the journal. So I'm just taking my ticket strips, and just then, you know, popping some bits on around with the envelope. I've got some ticket strips here. I mean, this journal's kind of nearly done, so I am just at the sort of finishing off stages really. But yeah, I just thought I would flick the camera on and share a bit of the process with you guys, have a catch up, you know, hope you're all well, say hi. Okay, so I'm just going to ink this little ticket a little bit, and I'm just going to pop that there, but hopefully kind of at a bit of an angle. So I would just glue that down like that. So yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're all having a nice time. We have some lovely sunshine going on here at the moment, so it's really nice. I haven't been outside today, but the weather's looking really nice from the window, and definitely, you know, the weather forecast has said it was going to be really nice today, so I'm just trusting that they're right, and it is. Now, for my Burst in Bloom envelope, obviously I've already made the envelope itself. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick the entire top piece, I think, down up to just beneath where that fold of the envelope flap was, and then around there. So it would be like a side loading pocket, but I want to make sure that the entire top part is glued down and slightly beneath that flap, because obviously, I mean, that flap is now straight because it's got the pieces of paper stuck on it. But I don't want that to be a vulnerable spot, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to apply the glue to all of the flowers that are overhanging the envelope flap itself. Oops, like that. And then plenty on the, you know, the flap part itself. And then just coming down slightly beneath where that flap is. And then just run it down the edge like that, and then down the bottom like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to just press that down here like that. Okay, so you just want to then obviously, you know, go around the whole thing, pressing the whole thing down. So just being a little bit careful, because I don't want to kind of, you know, peel anything up. And also I've got bumpy things underneath. So I just need to be a little bit careful there. I might just quickly ink up this butterfly a little bit, because I'm not sure he'd been inked. I'll just go around a couple of the flowers there. Okay. Okie dokie, and actually what I meant to do was tie a ribbon around here, and I just completely forgot. So yeah, I wish I'd done that, but I just completely forgot. So let's have a look to the side. I thought I had some ruffle, but maybe I haven't. Oh, maybe I haven't. Okay. But I do have lace. Well, of course we've got some lace here, because why wouldn't we? So I'm thinking, you know, could we just finish it off with a bit of lace around the corner like that? So I'm just going to trim this down like that. Okay, and then just, I think, sort of stick that on there at a bit of a sort of angle. I don't want it just like straight across. You know, I just want it slightly more curved around the page. So we'll just pop that on. Again, I'm still using my hot glue because, again, I don't, you know, I'm still not able to get that 3-in-1. They're, you know, how I normally buy it in those 2-packs, they don't have those. So I just can't bring myself to pay, you know, loads for the glue. So I'm just using the hot glue. And to be fair, you know, I know I've said this tons of times lately, but I always used hot glue up until more recently. So, you know, it's not a problem for me. I like using hot glue. Right, now with my little ticket piece here, I'm just going to go along and punch those little holes out. I know I've had loads of people ask before when I do this and say, why are you doing that? I'm doing it because this is taken from an actual ticket. So you've got where was the original hole in the ticket on there. So I don't want to have that just as a white piece of paper. But it's just like those ticket inspectors, you know, what they used to do, punch in your tickets. I know, I've said this all before, but this is just for anyone joining me for the first time, not knowing, you know, what I was actually doing there. So, sorry if I'm repeating myself and you've heard me say all that before. So that's just my ticket strip, which I'm just going to pop in here. And then I've just got a little printable here, so I'm just going to ink around that, and we just pop that into the envelope as well. And then I will need to pop something obviously into like the pocket part as well, because we've obviously done a pocket here as well. So in fact, do I want to put that in there? Maybe we'll get lost in there because it seems quite a long way back. So I'll just pop that in there and then I'll find something else in a moment. So that's that one. Let's have a bit of bling on the edge. So excuse my arm across the camera. I'm just looking for a bit of bling. Oh, come on. It's because I've got multiple projects on the go at the moment. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. As you all know, my desk is always a mess. I can't claim it was somehow really tidy previously. Of course it wasn't. But it's even messier now. So, yeah. Right. Just pulled in a couple of things here. So, I have got this bling here. Let me just check that I'm filming and I'm in frame. Just because since my new camera set up, I have had one or two people kind of say, oh, can you stay in frame? So, yeah, I just must make an effort to make sure I'm checking a bit more frequently that I'm in frame. So we'll just trim that down. So that's my black bling, or do I want to have oh, let's just have these flowers, shall we? They look super pretty on there, don't they? Right. Okay, so we just then pop these down. Okay. There we go. Just pop those like that. So how pretty does that look? Just lovely. Okay, so working our way back, I had another couple of pages with bits left to pop in. I mean, as I say, it's pretty much, you know, on its way now. I just had literally one or two bits left to go in. So this was one of the ones that we did actually make, you know, together using the 12 for 12 paper. so obviously this I'm going to use either as a pocket or a belly band, and I'm just wondering whether I want to just add a little flip to that. So again, let me just see. I've got some coffee dyed paper or anything here laying about. Oops. No, I've got this, but that's not quite right. Although, to be fair, I might just have to pop that in. This is just some scrapbook paper that I've had for years, and I coffee dyed it, and I've obviously used quite a large portion of the page, if you see what I mean. And this is just like a little bit that I had left, but it's been laying around on my desk for years because I just really like it. But actually that goes really nicely because it's got the gold, and this has obviously got the gold polka dots as well. So I think I'm going to actually part with it and put it into this journal. So yeah, I mean, you know, why was I hoarding it in the first place, you may ask, but you know, that's just how we go sometimes, isn't it? You know how it goes. Right, let me just have a look and see for some coffee dyed paper. Got some behind me that's quite thin. Okay, and I have some here. Again, not really thick enough. Just going through my little stash here beside me. This is it's just a canvas carrier bag, which I just cart up and down the stairs. So that, you know, when I'm downstairs in the evening, I just take this bag with some bits to work on. Just cut this down. So this here is actually 200 GSM. It's quite thick. So just having a look. If we want it, you know, on here like that. And actually I'm just going to trim it down slightly. Like that. Okay. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to go in this way, I think, for this. So I'll just then fold it in. So it's like a concertina, like that. And again, I should really use my bone folder, but I'll just use my scissor handle instead. It works just as well. And then I'm just going to trim it down at the top to make sure it's a bit straighter. Like that. Okay, let's just see how that will look. Right, I just need to trim it down slightly more here at the side. Like that. Okie dokie. So that looks really nice. So I'm just going to glue this on. Just there. You know, it doesn't have to be like in the centre or anything. Just wherever you want it. So I'm just going to glue it down like that. Okay. Okie dokie, and just press that down. So I'll just hold it in place for a couple of moments. Just so that, you know, actually does stick down. Okay. And then I'm just going to decorate the front. Again, just, you know, that just happens to be there, that ticket. But obviously, of course, it, you know, just happens to go quite well with what else is on the page. So just going to ink that up. Like that. And again, I'm just going to do that hole in the side. You don't have to punch the holes. I just think the holes are kind of cute. you know, and make them look a bit more like a real ticket. So there we go. So we could just have that there. Then do we want anything else on there? Let me just have a look and just see what else I've got in my little, what do you call it? You know, thingy, file folder of stuff. My file folder of goodies that I've got here beside me. I do have a label. I don't know whether that's just weird. Oh, let's just do that. So again, I mean, I know I say this all the time. I do really like using the labels cut in half. I don't know why. I don't know why. But for some reason, just always like them just cut in half. Okay. I think just they look really nice when they're just hanging off and, you know, cut off to the side like that. Okay, and I'm just going to pop that on like that. So again, let's just glue this down. Like that. Okay. Oh, where's my dry wipe gone now? Oh, it's up there. God, oh, that's strange. Where has my wipe gone? Got like a bunch of wipes just like strewn around all around my desk, all drying, you know, ready to be used. But yeah, I obviously then try and use like one and use it until it's no longer usable, because it's just by then covered in glue and ink. And then obviously use one of my other ones that are ready dry and ready to use. So there we go. Just pop that on there. Like that. Okay, and then hopefully my flap is kind of stuck down. So now we can just obviously pop that in. So I might actually just do this as a belly band rather than like a little pocket. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So just going to glue it down. I might even glue it down with my hot glue. Top and bottom, like that. And then just pop that, you know, just approximately where you want it. Again, let me just wipe off that glue that's oozing out. There we go. I mean, I think it's quite easy to get any of that excess off. So there we go, like that. And then this piece, obviously, we're going to just have, you know, slotted in here. I am wondering whether we want to decorate that piece at all. I don't want to bulk it out because at the moment it just slides in there really nicely and flat, which is quite good. So the worry is, you know, by sticking other things on there, we will actually bulk it out and it will no longer be laying flat. Let's just see whether I've got, you know, anything that would just go quite nicely without bulking it out at all. So just having a look. Okay, what about that? Yeah, maybe we'll have that on there. So we just ink that up. Just so it's got something more interesting to look at. So we just pop that down just there, I think. Oops. Okay. Plenty of glue. Just before I glue it down, I'm just going to check whether it would look better that side. The only reason being is because once it's in there, you won't really see the flower. but no, I do prefer it on this side. Okay, let's just press that down. Make sure it's well adhered to there. And again, I mean, I quite like that torn bottom, you know, so I'm just going to even leave that as it is, because I think that looks quite nice. So I'm just going to literally leave that as it is, and we'll just pop that in there like that. And then got a paper clip here, which, yay, it's actually going the right way. The number of times that I think, oh, I've got a paper clip, perfect, and it's the other way. So how pretty does that look? I just love how that looks. Right, now I'm still now on the hunt for the ruffle piece that I said I had, because it was a white ruffle and it would just go perfectly with this piece. What have I done with it? Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it, when you know that you've got something laying around. And the worst of it is, the second I put something else on here, it will of course show up. And I have got that one, it's got a bit of green on there. I could have it upside down. That's probably a bit strange having it upside down, but what do you think? I haven't got any, you know, any of this kind of green ruffle going on in here anywhere else, so I might live to regret that. Here we go. I knew I had some somewhere, you see, it's just buried. Right, so I'd like to have that on there. Personally, I probably would prefer it not quite so big. Oh, but then I'm wasting that ruffle. Oh gosh, how stingy can you get? I must just, you know, go for it and not worry about wasting that little bit, I think. So let's just again glue that on like that. And just glue it down here. So I'm trying to put my glue like approximately where that stitched ruffle line is, if that makes sense, you know, so it's literally stitched stuck where the stitched part is. And then I'm just going to trim it off here at the side. Okay, like that. Okay, right, that looks pretty, doesn't it? So yep, let me just check I'm in frame still. Yep, looking okay so far. So that's another page. Now the other page that I have got to do is this inside of the front cover. Not quite sure what I want to put on there. So I have got the remainder of one of my little snippet rolls here, which again, I just thought colour wise this went really nicely. I have to say more this sort of portion here really. Do we want to use this? Oh, decisions. I don't know whether I do want to use that, to be honest. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to use that. So let's have a look and see what else we can make. I've obviously got the other portion of this paper that I obviously have stuck down on here. So I have got that I could use. Let me have another look around just to check. I also pulled out one of my junk journal flowers because I thought that would be really cute in here somewhere. So maybe we will have that going on somewhere. What do we think? What's kind of calling us for this cover? Let's have a look. I've got lots of flowers here. Not sure now. Right, it suddenly occurred to me and I thought, oh, I think we made some of the pockets during one of our mass making. in this paper, which obviously, as you can see, this is like a faded out version and this is like a bright vibrant version, but of course they're kind of similar, so I'm going to use one of those. So shall we have the long one, or is that weird because it's picking up the same as that? Maybe we should use the small one. Yeah, I had intended to use the long one, but actually maybe that's too much with this one. So let's go for this one. So let's decorate this pocket up. Let's use, I think, maybe one of the portraits or something from the Curator's Collection portraits. I'm just having a look to see what ones would look good. Oh, she's nice, isn't she? Let's use her. So let me just pop them back out the way. Okay. Right. Let's have her there like that. And then I probably want to sort of tone the brightness of this down slightly. So let's just pop some other more brown toned things in or on there. And again, I've got like a little torn piece of paper which I spotted earlier, and now of course I'm not going to be able to find it. I mean, it's literally like a scrap, you know, it's barely worth finding, but it would be perfect for this. Oh, come on. It would be perfect, but now I'm not going to be able to find it. So, perfect or not, it's just not going to work because I'm not going to be able to find it in time. Oh, isn't it annoying when you just have seen something and you can't find it? That seems to be my entire thing. This whole video I've been looking for one thing after another and not able to then find it. So yeah, that's pretty irritating, isn't it? Right, okay, I've got some other bits here. So yeah, these are from my glue book favourites. So let's pull in one of the sort of browny, it's not really brown, but you know, more neutrally coloured things. So there are a couple of brownie ones, but as usual I can't now see them. Oh, come on. I'm just pulling out anything that's slightly got a neutral thing going on. Okay, right, we've got a few there to work with, so let's just pop that out the way. Maybe have this one down here. Let's tear this. It's just toning it down slightly, I think, which it just sort of needed. Okay, so let me just move the journal out the way for a moment. And we'll just ink all the bits up and, you know, decorate the pocket. So let's ink this one. Whoa. Okay. Okie dokie. There we go. Pop that one on there. And we'll just ink her up. And I'm just going to ink this actual piece up here as well. So it all looks, you know, a bit more aged and grungy. So yeah, it's very warm today. You know, already I feel quite warm, so hopefully it's going to be a nice day. Right, okay. Oh gosh, have I made that look really lopsided? I'm not sure. Not sure, but never mind. So that's that one, and shall we just pop some lace on here somewhere? Don't know whether that's like overkill. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop her down, and I'm going to just stick her down like this on 3 sides, just so she's a little pocket on, you know, on her own. So again, let me just pull in my wipe, just mop up the excess glue. Okay, and then I just wonder whether we could have another sort of flip, maybe. I mean, that's white on the other side, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. So just wonder whether we could have like a flip here. So we just fold that down. Oops, let's do it that way because that's got a dirty splodge of ink on there. Okay. Let's just ink this up. This will need cutting down, so I'll just ink it up first and then we'll just trim it down to size. So just ink it like that. So if that was to glue on here, and then just chop it down approximately there. Oops. Right, I just need to neaten this bottom part slightly. Okay. Okay, so might need to just neaten it up on the side. Like that. Oh my gosh. I said neaten it up, it's actually got even more wonky than it was in the first place. Oh, this might not work because I might end up with literally nothing left of this piece of paper. So, just, you know, sometimes that's how it goes, isn't it? Right, now is this weird because does this look like it's obviously that other piece of paper? Let's try it. So again, let's ink this up. Like that. Okay, let's glue this flap down in the first instance. Like that. Okay, just pop that down and then just go over the front and sort of check it's more or less in the middle. If that's where you want it, you might not want your flap in the middle if you were doing something like this. There we go. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know whether you're likely to be doing something like this, but okay. So I'm thinking that would go here like that, and then you've got obviously that little flap there. So that's quite nice, isn't it? Now, the other thing, let's just have a think. Oh, well, let's do that. So if that was like that, and obviously, you know, we could just use a paper clip or something to clip that closed. So just pop a clip on there. So let's just check what we could do here. Oops. I mean, obviously that wouldn't be clipped on. I'm meaning to glue it, you know. Now, just want to check what kind of trim I'm going to be having on this page. Now, I'm feeling this page needs something else pink going on to bring it together. I have got this tag here, which has obviously got that pink ribbon. It's a shame because that pink ribbon is perfect, isn't it? I don't think I've got any more of that, which that's a bit of a shame. Just looking around, seeing what else I might have. you know, that would be just kind of a good match. So let's have a look. I wonder if we could do something with some flowers or something. Well, I've got the pink on those tickets, so we could definitely have those tucked into that pocket. That's quite nice. We could have a pink label. That might be quite a good way to bring the pinks in. Maybe that one actually. It's better colour. Sorry, I'm just rummaging through my little file folder of stuff, which I've got just a whole bunch of things in that one. Right, I'm not liking that lace down the edge, so let's just get that gone so it's no longer in the way. Right, do we like that label? Okay, well I like the clock there, so let's pop the clock, or not the clock, but you know, the piece with the pocket watch on there. I think looks good, so let's just pop that down. Okay, let's move that out the way. Pop that down like that. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling we need something sort of pinkish going on. Oops, my son's awake now, and already him and his sister are falling out. I can hear them already bickering, so that's not a great start to the day, is it? As soon as they wake up, well, I mean, she's been awake for ages, but she's been downstairs with my husband, and yeah, but it's not a great start when the second, you know, he gets up and they interact, they're then falling out, because you just think, oh gosh, is that going to be another one of those days? Probably. Oh well, never mind. Oh, I don't know what to put on here. I'm thinking maybe I should just glue this pocket down and then go from there. Actually, I just thought I've got some coffee dyed doily here, which I need to coffee dye some more doily, so I'm hoping to do that later today, but just got a little bit still left in my stash. I wonder whether what's going on? That's quite nice, isn't it? I'm just trying to tone down the green really and make it so it's a little bit more well, I mean, obviously these are not pinks, but just toned down from the green, if you see what I mean. So yeah, I quite like it like that, I think. So I'm just going to glue this one on here. This is just printed on copy paper, and this is its original size. I have printed these in like 4 to a page and 2 to a page also, so that they're smaller. But sometimes I just really like big things, you know, that make a big statement. So and obviously these were actually done as part of my glue book things, so obviously, you know, that was really lending itself to quite humongous images. Okay, just have that doily, I think, just there. Now it's very annoying because I don't have any of that 3-in-1, so I'm going to have to glue this down with the glue stick, because I don't want that, you know, those patchy glue marks that tacky glue is making these days. So yeah, right, let's just go for that there. Where's my wipe? Oh. I've said that probably more than anything else in this video. I said, where's my wipe? Like hundreds of times. Yeah, my son's been obviously laying in. My daughter has not been laying in. So she's obviously like, the second she hears him rousing, you know, from his sleep. She's like, yay, he's awake, I've got company. And he's obviously like, what are you doing? I've just that second woken up. You know, which is fair enough. Yeah, so it's a bit of a recipe for disaster. I mean, you can see both points, can't you? She's obviously bored and is like, oh, hurrah, I've got company. And he's obviously like, you know, get out of my room, I've just that second woken up. And obviously when they're quite young, they're quite full on, aren't they? You know. So she doesn't like let you wake up gently or anything. She's just like, yay, you're awake, great. You know, can you do this? Can you do that? Do you want to come in the garden? Do you want to do this? Ugh, you know, just normal sort of 6-year-old behaviour, really. Right, there we go. Okay, I love this page. Just, oh, really, really love it. I mean, I love green, as you know. So for me, this is just like, wow, perfect mix of, you know, green things. So I'll just cut this label. And I think just have that there. Okay, oops, now my tummy's rumbling. Yep, that's how late it is that my son's waking up. It's actually lunchtime. So, you know, you can see her point really, can't you? Why she's like, oh, thank goodness you're finally awake. I can remember those days, you know, laying in like that as a sort of teenager. Okay. Right. Of course, it's even worse now because they have, you know, like TV constantly. So, you know, he just watches things incredibly late and he shouldn't really. And you know, I'm sure lots of people will think, well, why do you let him? But the problem is, obviously, I have gone to sleep. So, you know, kind of I'm not then aware that he is still awake and still up watching TV, you know. Because, of course, I'm long asleep. I'm a sort of early to bed, early to rise person. So although I have been sleeping in a bit, obviously where it's like the Easter holidays, you know, I'm still up pretty early, so. Right, just deciding how I want this. Now, probably I would like to have a ruffle here. Again, I don't want to, you know, bore you all with my looking for a ruffle, so I'd probably spare you that. But, oh, I just love how this page looks. And actually, weirdly, this is even a lace-free page, and I still love it. So, lace-free and bling-free, which I'd only just spotted that. So let me just grab a bit of lace, because maybe that would just even enhance it further. Oh, do you know what? I'm actually kind of maybe not loving that lace. I mean, that has never happened before, has it? Let's just trim this down. And I'm just going to see whether I want to just have a tiny piece at the bottom of that flippy part. No? Don't think I do. Well, certainly not this piece. I'm not saying I don't want any, but I'm not loving this piece. Oh, now I've dropped something into my bin. Knocked it off the desk. I hope it wasn't something that I really wanted, because it's now buried in amongst all that paper. Never to be seen again. Oh, I prefer this one. Yeah, perhaps I prefer that. Okay, perhaps we'll have that. Oh, I wish I'd find some other ruffle pieces. Okay, and also I had that junk journal flower, didn't I, which I'd said about putting on somewhere. I might have that at the back. Might have that at the back. Yeah, maybe I will have that somewhere at the back. Right, so might just pop that bit of lace down there. So again, I'm just going to hot glue that down. Like that. Okay. Just trim that off at the edge. Oops. Okay, that looks pretty, doesn't it? And do we want to just finish that off with a bit of bling? Check what else, what other colour bling I've got in here. Oh, I might prefer that one, I think. Yeah, I think I prefer that. So just going to pop this one down here. Oops. Okay. Oops. Every time I moved my fingers, the whole thing was coming up where it was all just getting stuck on me. Okay, let me just stand up and look down on that page now. Yeah, that looks really nice now. So that's that one. I am going to dig out some sort of ruffle or something to finish that off, but I'm going to spare you guys the, you know, process of doing that. So I want to now pop something in here, obviously. So let's just have a look and see what we can, you know, what we can conjure up for that. Let's pull in. I've got obviously some coffee dyed paper, you know, from what we've just used. So thinking we could just make some sort of journal-y type thing with that. So again, let me just crease that down there. Again, just trim that up because it's not straight at all. Hideously crooked, in fact. Okay. Now, just need to check. Obviously, it's quite a deep pocket, but I don't want it to, you know, I didn't want this piece too wide. So, and if I'm going to have some pages in here, then I might want to just trim it down slightly on the edge, because obviously once it's fatter, it's going to sort of bulk that pocket out a bit more. So there we go. Just trim that down. Trying to get it a bit straighter. Okay. So I might round the corners. Sometimes round the corners, sometimes don't. Like that. Okay. Let's just move those bits and pieces. Now I've got this tag here, which just happened to be laying around, but it is pretty good colour wise with the you know, with the page. So just going to ink this up. Let's see what else we've got here. Got some more of these little bits and pieces, you see. So that flower is too bright, much too bright. Got some of the shrunken down pieces here. So let's just have a look. Okay. Oops, more shouting is going on downstairs now. Oh. Right, well, I might have to crack on, and I must have squashed a fly there on my hand. I'm going to have to crack on probably and go down in a moment. So right, let's just see what we can put on this page. So what have we got? What have we got? Maybe like that. Maybe that there. What did I do with that other piece of coffee dyed doily? I don't know now where that's gone. Oh, honestly. Well, this is weird because it's gone from being like, you know, too much green to now it's got not a single bit of green. So maybe I won't use that tag on there after all. So let's have a look. Maybe, oh, maybe I should use this. That's quite nice. Right, let me ink this up now. I would quite like some pink in the background. Now, the odds of me finding some pink are very slim, I have to say. Not because I don't like pink or anything. I love pink, but just the way my day's been going, the odds are I'm not going to actually have any here to find, because that's just how it seems to have gone so far, pretty much for the entire video, doesn't it? Oh gosh, I'm just rummaging around trying to find something. Oh, this is so annoying. Ah, right. What have I got here? Oh. Yeah, well, it's quite thick. That is quite thick. Right, this is some of my Amongst the Amethyst papers, which I actually have not even ever used that kit in its entirety, I have to say. It was one of my first kits that I did. I still haven't even got around to using it. Do you know what? I'm now thinking perhaps I will make the book out of this instead. Right, let's get rid of this. Okay, plan B. Plan B. Let's all change here. Right. Let me just cut this edge off. Now, this one I have double-sided with a plain background anyway, so that's quite good because it's all, you know, it's already got something on there. Okay. Just trim this down here slightly. Oh my gosh, my cutting skills are just appalling. Right, we just cut this. That's really, really appalling. Oops, need to come up a little bit. Okay, right. Let's get rid of all of those pieces. Okay, take two. That's around the corners, because that's what we'd done previously, isn't it? So, whoa. Oh, she's screaming again, so honestly, no wonder I can't concentrate. Sorry guys, if you can hear her, I can assure you she's absolutely fine. She's just being stroppy, and yep, she's just obviously, her latest thing is, he's annoying me, you know, and that's her reaction, is by screaming when someone's annoying her. So that's what's obviously going on at the moment, is he's obviously annoying her, and she is now just shrieking when that's going on. Okay. Right, there we go. Oh, right, finally. Yep, I like how that looks. Do we want some doily on there just to sort of mix it in with? Yep, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And that would go, yeah. Yep. Okay, so I mustn't use that glue. Let's use the Yoo-hoo for the doily. Where have I got those book page? Okay, this is where I tear the doily, obviously. Yep. Oh gosh. I don't know what, you know, what I do. Well, I'm obviously very heavy-handed, but, you know, I mean, I see Rachel do this all the time with doily pieces and things. I don't really see her ever tear it. So, yeah, I'm obviously very heavy-handed. Okay, let's peel that bit of glue off. Right. Let's just Pop that down there. Right, let me get rid of these pages. Get my wipe back. Okay. I'm going to have that on there. So do I want to have that on a bit of lace or something just to break it up and make it stand out more? Oh, why not? Why not? Otherwise, we've not got much lace going on that page so far, to be honest. You know, which that's boring, isn't it, to not have much lace? There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down. Now, all I'm going to do is just hot glue this piece on, and that will, you know, through the process, that will hot glue that lace into place as well. There we go, like that. Okay. And then I'm thinking maybe one of those little book plates on the bottom. Oops, wrong pouch there. Oh, the other pouch had tipped over at the back of my desk. Oh, actually, I think I have got some book plates literally in a pouch, all, you know, just book plates in there. So hopefully, oh, maybe I haven't. Oh no. Literally every single thing that I've come to do today, I've had to retract my statement and go, oh no, I haven't. Oh no, I haven't got that either. Literally every single thing. It's just not been a successful day at all. So, okay. Now I'm not going to be able to find one in here at all. Let me just tip them out onto my lap, and that will help me hopefully look for them a little bit quicker. Oh, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, this is so annoying. Right. Now why? Why can I not find any? And the worst bit is, as soon as I think, right, I'll go for something else, of course, they're going to suddenly appear, aren't they? Well, let's just, you know, let's just go for a label because, you know, it's just ridiculous, all this just looking for something endlessly. Right. Let's pop that down there like that. So what I will do is obviously not on film, because my gosh, could you imagine the trauma of trying to look for some other pages now? Because what I will do is obviously off film, I will just fill this with a few odds and pieces of paper as a little sort of dummy booklet, you know, dummy journal, so some pages. And then I will probably just stitch it with my sewing machine straight down the middle with some pages there. So yeah, that's how I will finish that off, I think. But yeah, could you imagine if I was then going to now be trying to find the pages and things? It's just not going to be a great thing, is it? Because of course I don't seem to be able to find anything today. Oh, I was going to leave it plain, but no, why would I leave it plain? Why? Let's put some lace down the side. Everything just feels better once you've got lace, doesn't it? Screaming children, no problem. No. Fighting and arguing, no problem. As long as you've got a bit of lace going on, it's all fine. There we go. Just trim that down here at the sides. Okay. Right, so that looks pretty, doesn't it? I'm just going to literally blob some glue under these bits here, just so they're not flapping around like that. And then just a bit here. I mean, not that they're really going to be flapping around because it's not like they're outside, but you know, there we go. So I'm going to just fill that with some pages so it's like a little journal on its own. Yeah, and then obviously that's going to then pop into this pocket here. Okay, so yeah, I hope that you like the journal. I hope you think it's coming along, you know, nicely and looks really pretty. I don't know whether I will do any other things with you guys or whether I will just kind of finish it in quiet time and spare you guys the pain of crafting with me. But yeah, so if not, I will obviously be back with the flip through of this guy. So yeah, I hope that you all have a lovely day and I will see you all again soon. Stay safe, everyone. Thanks then. Bye.